Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another autocross car build. My vehicle today is a Porsche 911, the GT3. It's a slightly older one, and I'm kind of curious to see how this car will do. It starts off as an A-class car. It's probably got the highest starting PI of any vehicle that I've used for this series. So, yeah, I'm not sure. We're not going to have very much room for upgrades parts. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able... I suspect we can't get weight reduction, race tyres and full tyre widths on this vehicle and keep it in A-class. But, of course, the standard car itself is much faster than the other vehicles that have started here. So, yeah, I don't quite know whether this could struggle, potentially. Could be quite quick, though. 325s on the rear is very nice indeed. And we will go with 255s on the front to 640 PI. Now I am going to want to try and get as much weight out of the car as I can. It is the GT3, so it is already relatively light to start with. 2,696 pounds. It's not too bad on the weight front. We will go for some nice race brakes. 381 horsepower as well from standard is not too shabby. Actually more power than we got in the Cayman, I believe. Now, tyres, we're not going to be able to get race tyres. No, we are not. So we're going to have to go for street tyres. Now, is it ideal? Not quite. The choices are either we have street tyres and full weight reduction, or we have race tyres and probably let's have a look. For normal racing scenarios, I would go with the street tire compound. But for autocross, where we have got such demands of the car, that's a really difficult choice. I'm not sure which one is the best way to go. £3,100 is quite heavy for autocross, although we have seen cars go relatively quickly. Sometimes we have seen the heavier cars. I think, because of the tyre widths, I think we're going to go with the weight reduction and then the street tyres, I think, is going to be my preferred choice. I think it's the lesser of two evils, really, with this. And hopefully that won't come back to bite me in the arse later on. We do now have a little bit of PI. Remember this stuff over here. That's a good point. I wonder how much this drops the... It might drop the PI a little bit. The front has increased the PI. It's not going to be enough. It's definitely not going to have been enough. Oh, they've actually done... They've got the wing quite sensibly. We haven't got crazy rear wings on the 911s as you can often get. Fantastic. Right, now we will maybe go for exhaust. Can we get exhaust on? Nope, it was worth a try. We can't get exhaust on. Can we get... Aha, there we go. We can get a little bit more power. 292 foot-pounds of torque. And then we've got a couple of PI to work with. So I think we will go for a driveline. Oh god, we're going to play silly buggers, aren't we? We're going to get the driveline and then nothing else is going to be able to make up this last PI. This is just the way it goes. Okay, never mind. That'll do. That works. That works for me. Thank you, game, for being kind. Right. A relatively quick and easy build with the car when there's not a huge amount to do. I say easy. The choice between weight reduction and tyres is the tough one here. I think I probably made the right call. We will now find out, though, when it comes to autocross. Of course, to test out the Porsche, we have come to the Hockenheim circuit, where it'll get 3 runs through the autocross course. Our current leader is the Renault 5 Turbo with a time of 2:05.2. A very, very fast time, and this Porsche, I have no idea. Of all the cars I've done, I think this is probably the least clue I have as to what it's going to be like around here. It could potentially be very, very fast. We've not really had anything like this go, though. Nothing's had such high starting PI. Maybe the likes of the Alpha 4C, but even that, was that A-class or that's high B-class? Even then, that still had all of the normal kind of handling parts that would go on the vehicles. So, yeah, let's see how the Porsche does. We have got a little bit of, quite a lot bit in fact, of understeer through those first few corners. It's manageable though. We're going to have we're not going to be brave enough on this first run. It gets changed direction pretty well through there, and the brakes are nice in getting the car slowed down. Yeah, there is definitely, you can definitely feel the understeer in this one. Come on, get around there and boot it. At least, though, it does mean that we've got, it is lovely and planted with that understeer. The rear end does behave itself. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to have to take slightly different lines. I think that the problem is with this car, if I'd gone for the race tyres, it might have helped, but then you've got a lot more weight to boot, so it's just simply not going to get changed direction. And of course, the weight distribution in the Porsche, well, with the engine in the boot, is always throws up some interesting things. On Forza, that was close through there. That was very close indeed. Are we going to want first gear? I think we are. Oh, come on, get round there. There we go. It is quite nice being able to just boot it, get on the throttle almost instantly out of these turns. There is just nothing in the way of wheel spin from this car, and the back end will remain planted throughout the whole thing, but you've got to be so careful with that understeer. That very nearly fired wide. Through that section. Alright, get slowed down into the hairpin, one wide for the first ones. That was quite nicely done. Through there, perhaps second gear would have been slightly better for that section. I don't know if we want first gear. See, the Cayman with quite a few cars we've seen first gear, which often spin the wheels up if your time is a little bit wrong with the gear change. This is where we might possibly have some issues. No, the Porsche, I mean, the GT3 Porsche is a great handling car, certainly. And this is actually going to be, it's a benchmark time. It's a relatively okay benchmark time, I think, for the Porsche. Yeah, got to deal with the understeer, but overall, quite a nice car to drive. So, on to the second attempt. Now, I can possibly make up some time. I can perhaps be a little bit braver or with this car for a couple of places, and of course, got to not make mistakes. That is the real critical thing. With this car, don't make any silly mistakes around the course. Go slow down for that first turn. Oh, I got a little bit of wheel spin. That's probably about the only place, I think, where we're going to get the car even vaguely sideways. That is really good through there. I was expecting there to be understeer. I wasn't thinking that we're going to be able to carry. That's about 108 miles an hour. That's good going. That is very, very good going for anything. It's a couple of miles an hour down on the likes of the Beetle, but nothing has actually got near that Beetle full stop. So, yeah, this is done pretty well through there. Oh, I had to have a little bit of a lift ever so slightly. I thought I was going to be running wide. How do we do for straight line speed? It's quick. It's 121. It's up there with the Cadet, although it's a little too quick. Oh, this is a very fast car. That was a slight panic under brakes. That was not quite ideal. We have got the 121 miles an hour out of the car. The acceleration is fantastic in this vehicle, and it is helped. I said that engine position perhaps doesn't help with the understeer, but it will help with the traction, much like we saw with the silly car build of the 356A. While it did want to wheelie, the traction when it wasn't trying to wheelie was very, very impressive. And yeah, this car certainly gets accelerated out of the turns very nicely. Okay, we're fine through there. Just got to be careful you don't want to end up understeering towards the outside of the tunnel. The understeer actually does help it a little bit around this hairpin if we don't drift out too wide like that. God damn it, that's just the thing that I was trying. Just what I was trying to avoid through there. Yeah, it can help to try and avoid it's the RC third gate in that one. That, yeah, the understeer can help to kind of just drag you away from it. But in doing so, I try to carry a little too much speed, and then that will put you in the next gate. God damn it. But that felt like a pretty good run, and in fact, that is a quick time with a 5-second time penalty. This is, yeah, this car is looking very, very fast. On to the final run for the Porsche. Despite its high starting PI, this thing is certainly holding its own, and I've got to say, this very much suits my driving style. It is very much the way I like my cars to be. It is lovely and planted, and I can deal with that little bit of understeer. It is probably the understeeriest vehicle I've had, in all honesty, here, and that's, you know, not surprising. It's the first vehicle I think in this series not to go with sort of full handling parts, essentially. We had to be compromised with this one. Oh, that is so quick through there. It's so fast. That's up there with the Beetle, I think, near enough. Certainly about the closest we've had for a while, at 100, I think it was 111 miles an hour that time. That's such a quick car through that section. Right, let's make sure that we don't bugger that all up. That was absolutely lovely as well. Yeah, this car really very much suits my driving style. We're going to get on the brakes a little early. We did get 121 mile an hour. This time it was neatly controlled. It was very neatly controlled down there. It's much more like it. I think, strange as I'm going to say, I might prefer the driving of the Cayman ever so slightly. The Cayman feels that little bit more fun to drive. This, I think, is probably going to go a damn sight quicker if we can be neat and tidy through these next few gates. Tried to get on the power fraction too soon there. We're understeering out a little bit wide. Hopefully we can make up for it with some more of that blistering acceleration. Let's not face it, this car is not exactly the most powerful thing we've had either. Power to weight ratio wise, this is not that amazing. I mean, it's alright, but we've had cars with a lot more power and a lot less weight, but this is the fastest accelerating of the lot of them down the back straight. Is up there with the Opel Kadett, and that is quite a feat. That is really quite a feat for this car. We've only got a couple more gates to go with the 911. How are we going to do for time? We may come a little bit undone through here. This is where the Renault was very fast. The Porsche perhaps not so much. It's going to be quick. It's not quite fast enough. It is very, very close. It's the last couple of gates. It is exactly, it's the last, that little section towards the line is where the Porsche just lost out. I think we were about a second up on the Renault 5 as we came into the last little bit. But it was that last gates that did it in. I had a slight fear it might be that. This car is glorious. This car is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's just that little change of direction. It could deal with the understeer at the higher speed stuff. I was okay with that, but it just can't change direction as fast as that Renault 5, and nothing else has. I mean, the Renault 5 was down on the Corvette's time. I think it was about a second or so down on, it might have even been a little bit more than that. The Renault 5 wasn't doing particularly well on the run until that last sector, and it absolutely blitzed it. This thing is a great car, but it just can't change direction as fast as the little Renault 5. It just can't do it down that section, and hence why it loses out on becoming the fastest car around the Autocross course by about 0.3 of a second. It does, though, beat the Chevrolet Corvette. It does beat the Volkswagen Beetle. It equals the Beetle's record through that first high-speed section, or it's there or thereabouts. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check the Beetle at some point. Find out. I know the Beetle was very fast, but it's got very quickly through there. It's equaled the Kadett for straight-line speed. And that's very impressive as well from the Porsche, considering, as I said, you know, we're 392 horsepower. It's not bad. Certainly nowhere near the most power, though, we've seen. And again, the same with the weight. It's not bad, but it's nowhere near the lightest. So it does very, very well. And all of this is done on a car that doesn't have race tyres. It's on a car that's quite a compromised build, starting with such a high PI. It's, yeah, still went stupendously fast. So having a high PI is not necessarily a disadvantage when it comes to building a car for this. The 911 GT3 was a good enough handling car. The time will put the Porsche into second place. As I said, 0.3 of a second down on that Renault 5 Turbo. It is a fraction faster than the Corvette. It is not by very much at all, but it is faster than the Corvette. It's the first modern car, or relatively modern car at least, to go towards the top of the table in quite a long time, since the Alpha 4C, I think, way back. So yeah, the top of the table is pretty much a collection of classic cars, and now we have a 911 in second place. This is a lovely car to drive. I really like it. Absolutely suits my driving style. Probably won't be for everyone. The understeer is quite a lot of understeering. It's the way I like to drive my cars, and I can get plenty of speed out of it. But yeah, probably won't be for everyone. If you can drive it, though, it is a really very, very good car. I very much like this 911. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.